Okay, dear students, today we'll start new chapter that is nutrition in animals. Today we'll start new chapter that is nutrition in animals. In previous chapter we did nutrition in plants. So first of all, again we need to understand what is nutrition. Nutrition is a process in which any organism takes food in which any organism takes food and utilizes that food. This process is known as nutrition. It means any organism taking food, utilizing it for construction of its body, for energy, for repairing of its body. Okay, so today we will do nutrition in animals. Means how animals are taking food from outside the world. Very important. Animals are heterotrophs. In nutrition in plants, we studied two modes of nutrition, and that were autotrophic mode of nutrition and heterotrophic mode of nutrition. All the animals are heterotrophs. All the animals are heterotrophs means they take their food from outside their body. From outside their body. Their food is either plants, very important. Animals always consume plants, or animals always consume other animals as a food. Very important. Animals are heterotrophs. They take food from outside their body. Most important, their food always consists of plants and animals, or either plant products or animal products. Okay. So nutrition in animals means in this chapter we will be studying how animals take food from outside their body. Okay, take food from outside their body, they take inside their body, and how they utilize it. Okay, so very important, nutrition in animals. So what is nutrition? A simple and sweet definition. Nutrition, it is a process. It is a process by which any organism, here at organism in bracket I am using the word animal, any animal taking food from outside the body, from outside the body, and utilizing it, this process is known as nutrition. Okay, my dear students, very important. Animals always take plants or other animals as food. Very important. You must memorize this. Just for example of humans are animals. We either consume other animals or we either consume plant or plant products. Okay. So in this chapter we will be studying. See, if I am telling nutrition in animals, you can just get it that nutrition in humans. How animals or how humans take that food, what procedure it follows, and how it is utilizing that food. In this chapter we will get to know all that stuff. Okay. So my dear students, very important, in any organism, especially in animals, if nutrition is taking place, in any organism, if nutrition is taking place, it needs to follow a set of steps. Very important. Or nutrition doesn't mean a single process. Basically, it is a set or sequences of process. See, if any organism has to do nutrition, so what it does is that it do all these processes: ingestion, digestion, absorption, assimilation, and at last egestion. Very important. If I am telling nutrition in animals, it means that animal is doing all these processes. All these processes need to leads to a single process, that is nutrition. Very important, my dear students. So, in any organism, especially in animals, if nutrition is happening, then all these processes will take place. First one is ingestion, digestion, absorption, assimilation, and egestion. Don't worry, one by one we will go through all the steps. Very important. Just a simple scene I am putting in your mind. Ingestion, if this is any animal's body and food is there, then the process by which food goes into this body is known as ingestion. Digestion, very important. Again, I will let you know in further part of this video. Digestion means to make that food usable for that organism. I will let you know what does this mean. Absorption, to take important or usable stuff from the food. Assimilation, to use that important stuff for energy, for repairing of body. And digestion, after whole process is completed, that waste material which we have got left, that this complete food is not our complete usable stuff, the waste material which is left, to throw that waste material out is known as egestion. Okay, so in nutrition all these processes take place, that is ingestion, digestion, absorption, assimilation, and egestion. Very important, my dear students. Now one by one we will see all the things. First of all, we animals are of large variety. Animals, large variety, large variety. So for sure, different types of structures. Yes or no? So what happens in digestion, sorry, nutrition process is that if any organism is there, that organism needs to take food inside the body. Until and unless I am not taking this food inside the body, I will not be able to utilize it. Okay. So now see, different animals have different structures. So all of them have different methodologies, different methodologies to take this food inside the body. We will take example of 3 to 4 animals, that is frog, lizard, humans, starfish, amoeba. Now see, what frog do is that frog is having a very long tongue. It takes out that tongue, stick its tongue to the food and bring this food to the body or inside the body. Similarly, lizard, it is also having a very long tongue. What it do is that its tongue comes out of its mouth, it goes, sticks to that insect and bring it into its mouth and into its body. Humans, we use our hands. Human use hands. See, humans are using hands. Frog and lizards are using tongue. Means different organisms have different methodologies to put the food inside their body. A fixed process is same in all the processes, that is in all the organisms, that is in all the animals. This digestion is fixed. Very important. This digestion is fixed in all the animals. Yes, but different processes are for egestion and ingestion. Why? Because their structure is different, but all of them need to digest the food. This is common in all the animals. Very important thing. But all of them are having different ingestion and egestion methodologies. The reason is the structure of the organism. Okay. Starfish, very important. What starfish do is that starfish takes out the stomach from the mouth. Very important. It takes up the stomach from the mouth. The stomach goes out. If it is any stuff or any food it wants to have, it consumes into its stomach and bring back stomach into its body. Very strange. Okay. Amoeba, after about amoeba, we will be studying in last. We will be studying in last. It is a very specially differently designed organism. No fixed shape, nothing, and it is a single celled organism. So very important. Different animals have different methodologies for ingestion. What is ingestion? It means different organisms have different methods to take in the food. To take in the food. Okay. Now we will see, very important. Now we will see digestion. Okay, my dear students, I will let you know about ingestion. Now we will study nutrition in humans. Very important. This is a human body. Okay, very important. As we ourselves cannot prepare the food, we take food from outside the body. Very important in nutrition is that I have to follow all these processes, that is ingestion, digestion, absorption, assimilation, and egestion. I need to follow all these processes to complete my nutrition in my body. Okay? So one by one we will go through all the things. So now we will start studying nutrition in humans, or in a simple language. Otherwise, in otherwise language, you can say digestion in human beings. So very important. Let's say one by one, or let's see what happens inside our body. This is any human, and this is food. There is an opening called as mouth. Through mouth, I put my food into my body. Very important. At this place, ingestion takes place. In humans, ingestion takes place in mouth. At this place, the food is entering into my body. What is ingestion? Place or the process. What is ingestion? Putting, very important, putting food into body. Putting food into body. So very important, ingestion of humans takes place in mouth. Very important. As soon as ingestion has taken place, my second process starts, that is digestion. Very important, my dear students. That is digestion. Very important. Now I will tell you what does originally this digestion term means. This is a very important term. See, my dear students, as we all know, we are using food as a source of energy. Not only as a source of energy, but we are also using it for our bodybuilding. We are also using it for the repairing of our body. Okay, so very important. You might have seen bikes. In bike, we are putting petrols. Okay, we are putting petrol or diesel as a source of energy. Then why we are not consuming that source of energy in our body? Very strange. Second thing, we are using a source of energy, electricity, in fan, in washing machine. Then why we are not using electricity in our body? Very simple. Our body needs fixed material. Very important. Our body needs fixed material, and this body can only use this material as a source of energy. My body can use only a fixed material as a source of energy, Any other stuff, my body cannot use it as source of energy. My body cannot use energy by electricity. My body cannot use energy by petrol. Okay. If I put wood into the bike, it will not be running. Why? It will not be able to use that energy. If I put that electricity into my bike, petrol bike, it will not be able to use. Why? The engine or the bike is capable only to use petrol as a source of energy. Very important. Similarly, my body is also capable of using only a fixed material for a source of energy. So, very important. What happens is that if I am taking food, very important, my dear students, if I am taking food, I am getting a fixed number of material in that food. What I am getting is that very important. See, my dear students, whenever we eat food, it means we are getting carbohydrates. Very important. You have already gone through this thing in the 6th standard. If I am eating food, means I am getting in or I am having carbohydrates. I am having fats. I am having vitamins. I am having minerals. I am having proteins. Very important, my dear students. My body is not able to use all this material. Very important. My body is not directly able to use this all these things. So what my body will do is that my body will do a process that is digestion. Very important. Now, what my body will do is that very important, my dear students. My body will do a process digestion. This digestion will convert all this material into usable form. Very important. My body will convert this food, the food which we are consuming, plants and animals. If I am eating plants and animals, I am getting all these things. What my body will do is that it will do a process of digestion. Okay. In digestion, it will convert all this material into a usable form. Very important. This is what is the digestion process. What is digestion? Digestion is a process in which our body converts the food into a usable form or food into a form which can be utilized by my body. Very important. I am again letting you know what originally digestion do. See, my dear students, whenever I am having food, in originally I am eating complex material, I am using insoluble material, and I am using large food material. See, now what digestion will do is that what does this complex material mean? Complex means stuff or which you cannot understand. If I am consuming food and if it is having complex material means which my body doesn't understand or which my body cannot use. Digestion will convert that thing into simple material. Very important. What digestion do is that? Very important, my dear students. Digestion converts complex material into simple material. Simple material means easy one, means my body easily can use that material. Insoluble to soluble in digestion. Digestion converts that insoluble material into soluble material means it converts the insoluble. Why it is converting insoluble material into soluble? Because it have to transport that material into blood. Okay, so digestion converts that insoluble material into soluble material, and digestion also converts large food materialistic stuff into small particles. Very, very important. Originally, this is my digestion. Very important, my dear students. What is digestion? Digestion is a process in which it converts complex material into simple material, insoluble material into soluble material, and large material into small material. Hope my dear students, very important. Now, whenever you will be seeing this thing happening, it means digestion is taking place. Very important. Digestion is both. Digestion is both. Digestion is chemical as well as a physical process. Means digestion do chemical changes as well as physical changes. Both the changes. Okay. So now we will see how digestion happens in humans. We have done ingestion. How food enters into human body? By mouth. Very important. Ingestion. As ingestion has taken place, first that food comes into mouth. Very important. Mouth is having three things, that is teeth, okay, tongue and saliva. See my dear, now you need to focus it. What teeth do is that they do chewing. They cut the food particles. They make the food particles size smaller. Very important. As the size is now see, large to small. Teeth are converting large food particles into small. So we have already done it. Converting large food particles into small is called as digestion. Very important. Second thing is saliva. This saliva, which we call thuk in our Hindi language. Saliva converts starch. What is starch? Starch is plant food. Okay. Starch is a complex carbohydrate. My body can't use starch. So what saliva do is that it converts this complex material into simple carbohydrate. Very important. Simple carbohydrate, that is glucose. In more deeper you can get it is maltose. Very important. My body can use this. My body cannot use starch. Saliva is having salivary amylase. Don't worry, no need to go that much deep. Saliva converts my starch or complex material into simple. So very important. As soon as food starts, or as soon as food is taken into our body into mouth, digestion starts. Digestion starts in mouth itself. Teeth break the food. Saliva is having salivary amylase, which converts complex material into simple material. Tongue mixes food and saliva. More properly, saliva is mixed with food. More better it can convert complex material into simple. This is the function of tongue. So very important. As soon as food enters into our mouth, it starts getting digested. Very important. In mouth, it is not completely digested. It is only digested a bit. So very important. After mouth, it goes to stomach. From mouth, it goes to stomach. Very important. This passage, food from mouth to stomach, is taken by food pipe, also known as esophagus. Very important. Mouth to stomach, food is taken by esophagus. Very important. How is this food taken? This food, let's say this is food here. How this goes from mouth to stomach? The reason behind it is peristaltic movement. Peristaltic movement. What is peristaltic movement? See, my muscles contract here, because of which this food comes here, then they relax. Then muscles contract here and this food come here, then they relax. Muscles contract here, the food come here. simple way, if there is a Pepsi, you might all be drinking that Pepsi, 1 rupee Pepsi in this summer season. If I want to bring out that ice, what I do is that I press it from above. When I press it from above, the ice comes down, and when I release this, again I press this, the ice comes down. Similarly happens in this. This movement is known as peristaltic movement. What is peristaltic movement? Peristaltic movement is contraction and relaxation. Contraction and relaxation of muscles by which the food goes from mouth to stomach. Okay. This looks a bit like wave-like motion. Wave-like motion. Very important. Many times when you vomit, food comes from stomach to mouth. Originally it goes from mouth to stomach. This is known as peristaltic movement. And when you vomit, this food comes from stomach to mouth. That time this is known as anti-peristaltic movement. And peristaltic and anti-peristaltic movement are not in our control. Okay, very important. So then this food goes into stomach. As this food goes into stomach, food is in stomach for 3 hours. It is churned for 3 hours. Churned for 3 hours. Continuously churned. Okay. Very important. Stomach releases 3 things, that is HCl, that is hydrochloric acid. Okay. Now, stomach also releases mucus and stomach releases digestive juices. See my dear students, what happens is that, okay dear students, so stomach releases 3 things, that is HCl, hydrochloric acid, mucus and digestive juices. Very important. See my dear student, what happens is that, as we know, mucus and hydrochloric acid, these are for, HCl is for killing germs and mucus is around the walls of the stomach so as to protect the walls from the acid, so that this acid does not corrode or does not burns out my stomach walls. Now, what is function of these digestive juices? Very important. As the name itself suggests, its work is to digest. Very important. Basically, what happens is that these convert proteins. These digestive juices converts proteins into simple stuff, that you can say proteins into amino acids. Help out. See my dear students, hydrochloric acid kills germs, mucus protects the walls of the stomach, and digestive juices digest. What do they do digestion? They do a chemical process and convert the protein into much simple material which can be used by my body. Now very important. Now after this the food passes into small intestine. Very important. Now the food is passed into small intestine. Very important. Why this is called small intestine? Originally, this is very long tube. This is originally very long tube, but it is very much narrow. That's why we call it small intestine. In humans, it is around 7.5 meters long. See, my dear friends, small intestine is a very important site. Here, 2 things happens. Small intestine is also called as site of complete digestion. Very important. It means most of the digestion will be completed here. Okay, and it is also the site for absorption. Means at this place absorption also takes place. So what is this absorption? We will see. First of all, let us see what is complete digestion. How in this small intestine complete digestion is taking place. See, this is small intestine. Now, what happens is that in our body there is a gland called as liver. Very important. There is a gland called as liver. What is a gland? My dear students, you just need to learn this up. What is a gland? Gland is a special organ, and gland releases chemicals. Gland releases chemicals, and these chemicals help out in the metabolism of our body. Okay, so liver is an organ, it is a gland. Pancreas. These two organs, these are not present in small intestine. This is our small intestine. What happens is that there is a connection, a pipe or a duct between this liver and small intestine, and there is a pipe or a duct connecting this pancreas and small intestine. Okay? Liver secretes bile juice. Liver secretes bile juice, and liver's bile juice is stored in gallbladder. This gallbladder is small part in this liver, and this bile juice is stored in gallbladder. Very important, my dear students. Whenever if we are using the word bladder, just get it. It is either storing something, or it is like a bag, or it is like a bag. Pancreas, it also releases, liver releases bile juice, and pancreas releases pancreatic juice. Okay. Moreover, these walls of small intestine release intestinal juices. Intestinal juices. Bile juice, pancreatic juice, and intestinal juices. See, my dear student, very important. Now, what they all do? These all secretions, these all juices, that is intestinal juices, pancreatic juice, and bile juice. All those them three are juices. Means these are special type of chemicals. These are special type of chemical which is helping in digestion. Means these are converting our material into usable material. How? Bile juice. What this bile juice do is that whenever we eat very large globules of fat. What happens is that this bile converts that fat into small particles. Okay. Pancreatic juice and intestinal juice. These both almost have the same work. What they do is that pancreatic juice and intestinal juices convert complex carbohydrate into simple carbohydrate, or I can say starch. Starch is a complex carbohydrate. Starch is food of plants, or it is starch is stored food of plant, and I myself, means we animals can't use that food. We convert it into another form. That is into simple carbohydrate, or I can say we convert it into glucose or sugars. Okay. Intestinal juice also do the same thing. It converts the complex carbohydrates into simple carbohydrates. Second thing, they convert proteins into amino acids. Complex into simple, digestion done by pancreatic juice and intestinal juice. Proteins converted into amino acids done by digestion process. Fat, large particles converted into small particles done by digestion. Digestion means three things: converting complex material into simple. Second, converting insoluble stuff into soluble stuff. And third, converting that large particles into small particles. Okay. See, my dear students, this thing has taken place in small intestine. It is called place of complete digestion because here in small intestine three juices are being released. One from liver, that is bile juice, one from pancreas, that is pancreatic juice, and one from intestinal, its own wall of the intestine, that is intestinal juice. See, my dear student, now I am telling you in small intestine what thing originally has taken place or till now in stomach, in small intestine, and in mouth. What has happened? If I say complex material into simple, if I say large particles into small particles, and if I say insoluble material into soluble material. Just see, this is only my digestion process. See, complex material means starch and other complex carbohydrates are converted by digestion process into glucose or other simple sugars which my body can use. My body can use this glucose or sugar, my body cannot use starch. So digestion is a process, it is making whatever food I am using, whatever food I am intaking, okay, converting it into a usable form. Large particles, food particles by teeth converted into small, large fat particles by bile juice converted into small particles, okay. Insoluble to soluble means why they convert this into soluble material is that our blood now need to take all this material to all the parts of our body. If this material will not be mixing or getting salt into dissolved into this blood, this will be not getting transported into our body. Okay, that's why these all things are being converted into soluble material. See, now originally what has happened in digestion? Whenever we are taking food, very important my dear friends, whenever we are taking food, what do we take is very simple. We eat carbohydrates, we eat carbohydrates, we eat fat, we eat protein. Okay. After digestion, this is converted into simple carbohydrate, or I will use the word now glucose. Fats after digestion are converted into glycerol or fatty acids, okay, and proteins are converted into amino acids. After digestion, this is what my body requires. We are eating food, we are getting this. We are eating food, we are getting this. After digestion, we convert it into this stuff. This stuff is used by my body. This all stuff is soluble. Getting it, dear students? Very important. This is only what we call digestion process. Most of our digestion has taken place into small intestine. Small intestine is also the place for complete absorption. Complete absorption. So, what this absorption means is that this is my small intestine. Here it is digested food. Digested food means the thing which my body require. Okay, by digestion process. Now this digested food, or if in other language I say glycerol, which I got from fatty acids, amino acids, glucose. Okay, now these all things need to be sent to different parts of our body. That is, digestion is taking place, but these cells also require food. Why? They want energy to work. Okay. So now what happens is that this all material needs to be sent to the cell or all other parts of the body. How this thing will happen? Now what happens is that there are blood capillaries in which blood flows. Now this material needs to be taken from small intestine into blood, and this process is known as absorption. This process is known as absorption. Okay. In absorption, what happens is that absorption is a process in which the material or the digested food from the small intestine is taken into blood capillaries. This process is absorption, to suck. So how this absorption takes place is that this is a very important part, how originally this absorption is taking place. See my dear students, it's a very simple thing. If this is a wall, I want this material to go from this place to this. If this is very thick, I cannot penetrate this. But if it is very thin, I can easily penetrate this and come this side. Yes or no? Similar thing happens in this absorption part. If this side is small intestine and this side is blood, so the boundary of small intestine and the boundary of blood capillaries needs to be very thin, so that our digested food can cross these two walls and go into blood capillaries. This process is only known as absorption. So what happens is that small intestine is not straight. It is having special finger-like projections. Very important. Our small intestine is like this from inside. It is not a straight line. Why? Because here it is digested food. So what happens is that if my blood capillaries will directly grow from here, or only these finger-like projections are not there, there will be very less place for the absorption. So what happens is that our small intestine is having special finger-like projections. These are called as villi. Okay. So what happens is that blood capillaries are in these villis. See. Okay. This is our blood capillary, and this is taking blood to the body. Okay. So what happens is that this villi, here it is food. See, if this would have been straight, only this much area would have been present for absorption. Means food would have crossed, our digested food would have crossed small intestine boundary and then jumped into blood capillaries. But these finger-like projections increase the surface area for absorption. Means now more absorption can be there. So what is the main function of villi? Main function of villi is to increase surface area for absorption. Very important. Villi are finger-like projections present in the small intestine. They increase the area for absorption. When this blood takes this digested food to the cell or body, then what is that? This food is being utilized for energy. That is called as respiration. We will do in the next chapters. This food is used for growth, for new cells to grow, and this food is used for repairing of body. See, now this food has gone into body, and now body is utilizing this food for energy, growth and repairing. This process is known as assimilation. What is assimilation? Assimilation is the utilization of the digested food for energy, growth and repair of the body parts. Okay. What normally happens is that glycerol and fatty acids are being used for the generation of new components of a cell or is stored as a food. Okay. We ourselves know when we eat a lot fat, then it is stored near our belly. Okay, and our belly starts increasing. More fat we eat, it is stored. Okay. Second thing, this amino acid is used for the generation of new cells and repairing of the new cells. And carbohydrate, that is converted into simple carbohydrate, that is glucose, it is used for energy. Okay, my dear students. After this, the food goes into large intestine. After this, the food goes into large intestine. Large intestine is not that much lengthy as of the length is of that small intestine. It is only about 1.5 meter long, 1.5 about something like that. Okay. See, it is called large intestine because it is quite wide. Its opening is quite wide. Now the undigested food comes here. What this large intestine do is that it absorbs or takes water and salts from it. Okay. Large intestine takes the absorbs the water. Why? See, our body is smart. If you have taken something into body, your body will never try to waste anything. So our body will just absorb the water and the salts from it, and as it absorbs the water and salt, our this undigested food or the stuff which is still left behind converts into a bit solid or semi-solid type Now this food goes to rectum. It is stored in rectum for a bit of time, and after that it is thrown out from the body by anus. When our waste material is thrown out from the body or the undigested food is thrown out from the body by anus, this process is known as egestion. Very important. Egestion means taking out or throwing out the undigested food from the body. See, my dear students, this was the human digestive system. See, my dear students, very important. See, first of all, ingestion happens. That is food into the body, that was from mouth. See, now our food has to travel a path, and after traveling a fixed path, it will be out. This process is egestion. Ingestion means egestion out. My dear students, very important. This complete path is known as alimentary canal. Alimentary canal or digestive tract. Tract means the track on which you run or the path. It is also known as digestive tract. The path or the pipe followed by the food for digestion is known as alimentary canal. In ingestion, it comes into the mouth. It travels the alimentary canal path and out. Very important. In this path, mouth, after mouth is food pipe, after that is stomach, after that is small intestine, after that is large intestine, after that is rectum, and at last is anus, from where egestion takes place. These all are the organs: mouth, food pipe, stomach, small intestine, large intestine, rectum, anus. These all organs are helping my body to do the digestion. Now, very important. These organs cannot alone do the digestion. Means this alimentary canal is not enough. It requires liver. It requires pancreas. Okay. It requires glands. Glands means it requires special digestive juices. That is salivary juice. By liver it is bile juice. By pancreas it is pancreatic juice. In stomach it is mucus, HCl. digestive juices, small intestinal juices. When all these things, that is alimentary canal plus liver, pancreas, glands and all the digestive juices combine, they create my digestive system. Very important. They create my digestive system. What is alimentary canal? Alimentary canal is the path traveled by the food. Okay. Digestive system is the set of alimentary canal along with liver, pancreas and glands and its secretion which helps in the digestion. This complete thing generates my digestive system. Okay dear students, so this was our digestive system. See my dear students, very important, many times you might have seen that you face hiccups, hitchki. Many times you might have seen that you have to face hiccups, hitchki while eating or after eating. Why? Now we will see what is the reason behind hiccups. Okay. See, from nose is my nasal cavity, from mouth is my buccal cavity. These both combined, same path. For throat it is same path, and after throat, food from buccal cavity goes into food pipe, and air that we breathe in goes into wind pipe. But near our throat, they are having a common passage or this common part. What happens is that whenever we eat, there is a barrier, epiglottis. What epiglottis do is that whenever you eat food, see, if food is engulfed, it may go in any of the path. Okay, but what happens is that when we eat food and swallow it, this wind pipe is closed by epiglottis. It covers this. Because of this food passes here. But many times when we speak or talk while eating, this epiglottis is not able to completely cover this windpipe because of which a bit of food goes into windpipe and our windpipe is chopped, because of which we are not able to breathe and we feel choking and we feel uneasiness in breathing, and this process is normally known as hiccups. So what are hiccups? Hiccups means hitchki. They happen why? Because many times when we eat food and while swallowing, the epiglottis is not completely able to cover the opening of the windpipe. A bit opening is left and the food enters that opening and we are feeling a sense of uneasiness or choking. Okay my dear students, in mouth we had very special organs, teeth. Very special organs, teeth. Our body is very smart. It is having variety of teeth. Why? It knows that humans consume a variety of food. That food needs to be cut down, that food needs to be pierced, that food needs to be grinded so as to decrease the size of that food particles. Okay, so we are having teeth. What is the function of teeth? Teeth function is mechanical work. What mechanical work is that? It converts large part of food into small part. It converts large part of food pieces into small part. It is doing the mechanical work. Okay. There are 4 types of teeth: incisors, canines, premolar and molar. See my dear students, scissor. They are having very sharp edges, or these two teeth. These two teeth at the front. At the front, you might have seen those rats. They have these teeth very long. Those are incisors. They help in cutting. Incisors are very sharp edged. Okay, they help in cutting or biting the food. Canines, you might have seen dogs, you might have seen tiger, lion. These canines are very large. Why? Canines helping piercing, in piercing or tearing the food. Piercing or tearing the food. Premolar and molar are those teeth which are at the last end of our jaw. These have very large surface area. They have large surface area. Why? Because their main function is to grind. Their main function is to grind the food. So these are the functions done by our teeth. Now the important question arises: teeth are so important. So should we take care of them or not? Obviously, we must take care of them. We must avoid our teeth from getting decayed. See how teeth decay. See, this is our teeth. Let's say, and these have roots into our gums. These are our gums. Teeth. When we eat food is left behind our teeth. If we brush up regularly, okay, if we clean our teeth regularly, then this food does not stay there. It leaves the teeth. But if we are not cleaning our teeth regularly, what will happen is that this food will be acted by bacteria. These bacteria will convert our food into acid. Now what this acid will do is that it will corrode my teeth. Or make powder of my teeth. Okay, it will corrode and my teeth will get decayed. See, in corrosion what happens is that there will be holes created. If there will be more acid, hole will be created. Then these nerves from gums come in contact directly to open air and our teeth starts paining. So as to avoid teeth decay, we must regularly brush our teeth. We must regularly wash our mouth before and after eating. 3 to 4 times a day we must wash our mouth. These are very important things. Okay. Teeth are also of two types: temporary teeth and permanent teeth. See, my dear student, what happens is that when a newborn baby is there, his teeth starts beginning, means growing up. So when he is of 5 to 6 years, his teeth grow and automatically they start shedding off. That set of teeth which sheds off at 5, 6, 7 age, that is known as a temporary set of teeth. When the teeth shed off, new set of teeth come. That is known as permanent teeth. Now these teeth will be lifelong if he maintains. If these teeth break, no more new teeth will be growing. Okay. So there are two sets of teeth, temporary and permanent. Okay, my dear students. Most important thing, we are also having a very important organ, tongue, in our mouth. Let's also take a bit idea about tongue. What is tongue? Tongue is a muscular part in our mouth. Tongue, muscular part. See. If this is our buccal cavity, this is our tongue. It is joined from behind, but free. It can very easily move freely from front part. front part of our buccal cavity. What it do is that it can move easily, so it mixes food and saliva for easy digestion. Saliva converts complex carbohydrate into simple carbohydrate, that is maltose. Okay, very important. It helps us in speaking clearly. Why I am able to speak clearly? Because I can very easily control and move my tongue. Okay, my dear students. Second thing, it helps in getting taste of food. Very important. Taste of food. It is having taste buds. These taste buds are sensible to taste. We are able to taste sour, sweet, salty, bitter taste. Okay. Our tip senses sweet taste more, and our behind part taste bitter taste more. See, overall they are having all the taste buds, but not in a uniform way. Most of the bitter taste buds are behind. Many times you might have seen many students, I will not take this medicine. So what they do is that they just put it in the last part of tongue and they feel it very bitter. But originally they must keep it in the front part of that tip of the tongue. Why? Because that tongue is having very less number of bitter taste buds. It is having more sweet taste buds, so they will not be able to find the taste of the tablet. Okay. Here it is salty part and here it is most of sour part. Tongue very important. Also help to direct my food from head to food pipe. Okay. See, my dear students, many times when we are not having good food, or there are large number of bacteria present in our food, or our body is not working properly, what happens is that by anus egestion happens, or egestion takes place. Many times after digestion, originally our food thrown out must be semi-solid. Why? Large intestine will absorb most of the water, but when many times happens when it does not eat good water, quality water, or not a good quality food, our this waste is not semi-solid, it is liquid stool. Liquid stool, okay? It is a liquid form, because of which there is a lot of loss of water. See, if liquid stool keeps on getting out from my body, obviously my body is not able to absorb the water, means that water is going out, because of which there will be lack of water in my body. Why? I am consuming water, but that water is getting out. It must not go out. Why? My large intestine must absorb the water, but I am facing a disease, that is diarrhea. Diarrhea is a disease in which people start doing liquid stool. Why? Because of the lack of water, and this type of condition is known as dehydration. Dehydration means lack of water, and to cover up this dehydration, you must have ORS, that is oral rehydration solution. Means you must drink a lot of water. Why? Because your body needs water. You must drink a lot of water along with salt and sugar. ORS you can prepare at your home. Just boil the water to kill the germs. Put a spoon of sugar and salt, and ORS is ready. Just have it. Dehydration's opposite process is rehydration. It will, in rehydration, ORS adds water to your body, and as water is enough in your body, automatically your diarrhea will be gone and your body will be healthy again. Okay, my dear students, now there is something special in grass eating animals. For that we must understand what special grass is having. See my dear student, what happens is that now we'll study about grass eating animals. Before that, you must understand grass. Grass. Grass is such a natural organic material that it is having a very special type of carbohydrate, that is cellulose. Means grass is made up of cellulose, and cellulose is a complex carbohydrate. Complex carbohydrate means animals cannot use cellulose. Very important. Then what we will do? We will be doing the process of digestion, and we will be converting, by digestion we will be converting the cellulose into simple carbohydrate. Simple carbohydrate, and the simple carbohydrate will be used by animals. Very important. To convert cellulose into simple carbohydrate, it takes a lot of time. Second thing, it is not possible to convert the cellulose into simple carbohydrate without the help of few bacteria. If you want the cellulose needs to be converted into simple carbohydrate, you must have bacteria in your digestive system. See my dear students, our digestive system is not having these bacteria, so our digestive system will not be able to convert the cellulose into simple carbohydrate. So what happens is that, as we all know that grass is being eaten by many animals, it means those animals are having bacteria in their digestive system. Mostly the animals such as cow and all these animals have bacteria in their stomach. Second thing, the digestion takes a lot of time, so it doesn't mean it will take a lot of time. It in another word means that the length of their small intestine is very much large. Very important. Grass eating animals have large means very lengthy small intestine. Second thing, meat. If any organism is eating meat as a food, it is very easy to digest it. Very easy to digest it. So those animals are having very small in length, small intestine. So very important. Grass eating animals or herbivores are having lengthy small intestine. Why? Because the food they are eating needs a lot of time to be digested. That's why they are having very lengthy small intestine. Whereas meat eating animals, omnivorous animals are carnivorous animals are having very less in length small intestine. See my dear students, now we will see a bit structure of grass eating animals. Very important. If there is any grass eating animal such as cow, you might have seen cow continuously chewing and taking food inside its body. What it does is that it from mouth, that food goes into stomach directly. It chews very much less. We chew a lot. It chews very much less, and that stomach is having 4 chambers, means 4 parts. But first time, cow is continuously engulfing the grass, chewing a bit only, and that food now goes into a first chamber. First time goes to the first chamber of the stomach, that is rumen. Very important. Rumen is not present in our body. Rumen is present in animals eating grass. Okay. See now this food goes into rumen. In rumen, digestion takes place, but it is not a complete digestion. And now this food is converted into curd. What is curd? Curd is the food present in human which is digested but not completely digested. Very important. Now again this food, when the cow rests, again this food is being sent into mouth for perfect chewing. You might have seen cows and all, buffalo and all, when they sit, they continuously chew, move on their mouth jaws, continuously they move their jaws. Why? Because when they were taking the grass into their body, means when they were doing ingestion, they were continuously taking a lot of grass, not without chewing perfectly, that is being sent into rumen. Rumen is a special chamber in grass eating animals. Okay, in rumen that food is digested a bit, not completely. That food is known as curd, and now this curd is sent into mouth again. Very important. Food being sent from mouth to stomach is called as peristalsis. Very important, we have done in our food peristalsis takes place. And when this food is being sent back from stomach to mouth, this process is known as antiperistalsis, or another name for grass eating animals. This process is known as rumination. What is rumination? Rumination is the process in which animals send food or the curd undigested food from the rumen or the chamber of the food back to the mouth for chewing. We can't do rumination, but grass eating animals can do rumination, and those animals which are having rumen in their stomach are called as ruminants. Very important. Ruminants are the animals having rumen in their stomach. In rumen, first food while engulfing or while ingestion, it is being taken into rumen, digested a bit, it gets converted into curd, again sent to mouth, it is chewed a bit more. After chewing again, this food does not go to stomach, that is rumen, it goes to the other chambers of the stomach, then large intestine, small intestine, and by anus out. Okay. See my dear students, there is one very special organism, that is amoeba. See my dear students, you just need to understand all the organism needs glucose for energy. They do respiration. All the animals consume food, but they always need to digest it and convert it into usable form. Any organism, even amoeba is a single celled organism. This is amoeba. It is single celled organism. Its name is amoeba. Its shape and size is not fixed. You can very easily change its shape and size. See how we do the process of ingestion and all. It also need to do nutrition for living. Very important. Nutrition is a basic life process. Need to be followed by any organism, whether it is plant or animal. It need to follow the process of nutrition to live, to survive. If nutrition process is not there, there is no life. So amoeba is single cell thing. It also need to do nutrition. So whenever amoeba sends a food outside its body, as we all know, it can change its shape and size. So what it do is that it changes its shape, try to cover the food by changing its shape. These parts are known as pseudopodia. Pseudopodia are also known as false feet. Okay, and what happens is that after that it joins these two ends, and this food particle is now inside the body. Now it joins these two particles, these two parts of the body, and now the food is inside it. Very important. Now it need to do digestion. See, amoeba is not having a digestive system. Very important. We humans have a digestive system, means many organs performing or helping me to do the digestion. But it is a single cell organism, it is not having special organs. it is not having a fixed set of organs to perform that. It means it is not having a digestive system, but it need to do digestion. So what it do is that now amoeba releases digestive juices. Now this food is digested. After digestion, it absorbs important food or the absorbed digested food. It assimilates it, used for its growth, and the waste material which is left out, it again throws it back, and the waste material is again thrown out of the body. So dear student, it was a nutrition. Nutrition is a process in which ingestion, taking food inside into any organism, digestion, converting that taken food into usable form. If I drink petrol, my body cannot digest it. Why? My metabolism is not able to convert petroleum product into usable form. It can only convert carbohydrates, proteins, fats, minerals and vitamins. Minerals and vitamins are not converted into all this stuff. Only carbohydrates, proteins and fats are being converted into this, and this process is known as digestion. After digestion, that stuff is absorbed and gone into blood capillaries. Blood capillaries take that food into all the parts of the organs that is being used for the growth, that is assimilation, and after that it is thrown out, that is digestion. So our chapter is over.